Hi, everyone, and welcome to Worth Following Weekly. 5 minutes each week that build your skills and understanding of the concepts and practices every leader needs to exercise to make them a leader who is worth following. I'm the lead educator for Roots to Sky Consulting, Mark Legvold. We've been talking about your silent leadership superpower, nonverbal communication. Remember last week we learned about Dr. Albert Moravian and his theory that effective communication comes down to 7% what is said, 38% of how it is said, and 55% body language. I offered an exercise to practice how to say things using 6 primary emotions: fear, joy, anger, disgust, sadness, and surprise. If you tried to read a simple message expressing all 6 of these emotions, good for you. It was hard, wasn't it? Reading something you meant to be emotionally neutral, but adding extra emotion doesn't come naturally. But it does teach us that everyone will take your message differently. And as a leader worth following, you are responsible for understanding that and working to meet them where they are. You'd hate to be 38% less effective in your communication, right? Today, we're going to learn a little bit from a new expert. Joe Navarro is considered an expert in nonverbal behavior. Having worked within the FBI, he's authored several books, including What Every Body is Saying, and writes and speaks on what our nonverbals actually say. He writes about how our responses to situations are immediately processed and responded to by our hardwired limbic system, that part of the brain that's responsible for emotional responses. Remember those 6 primary emotions? And that through exercising our skills of observation, we can more effectively cue in on these responses. Let's take a scenario. You're managing a team of 3 people, and one day you walk into the room to bring the team a new task. You notice their postures become rigid, muscles in their jawline become tense, their lips are pursed, eyes become narrow, and their heads drop. Closer you get to the team, the more pronounced these physical responses get. You recognize your team is immediately uncomfortable. Do you work to find out why, or do you disregard this response, deliver the task, and remind them and yourself that it's their job to do the work and yours to deliver it without caring? If that's your response, then keep it up, and your people won't follow you. In fact, they'll find the door. Navarro urges us to focus on the comfort and discomfort paradigm and to become keen observers of whether people we are communicating with are showing responses within those 2 areas, comfort or discomfort. It's the observation and adaptation of leaders that will bring others to want to follow them. Become a scientific observer of others in order to develop your nonverbal superpower, and then we'll learn how to adapt to meet them where they are. Observation, Navarro asserts, is a two-sided coin, assessing for comfort and discomfort in others and assessing for comfort and discomfort in ourselves. Well, let's start with assessing others' comfort in situations this week. Here's an exercise. As you have interactions, or even as you're out with other people, look closely at the face and upper body for signs. Any tenseness can be interpreted as discomfort. Be subtle in your observations, like a good FBI agent. Just watching how people interact with others can be a great skill builder in how to cue in on how people interact with you. This takes purposeful work in observing. So start with the face, the forehead, eyebrows, eyes, lips, and jaw. Work to notice if the muscles are relaxed or tense. Or in Navarro's words, are they showing comfort or discomfort? Then make a mental note. That person looked comfortable. I noticed their forehead wasn't wrinkled, their eyebrows were relaxed, their eyes were fully open, their lips were slightly parted, and their jaw was at ease. Go through each part of the face that you notice and notice what the muscles are doing. By making these observations and mentally rehearsing your notes, you can begin your journey into the superpower of personal, nonverbal noticing and can start to make subtle changes. You can also start the work of recognizing your reactions to situations and people and work to communicate your comfort or discomfort more proactively. We'll go a little further into Navarro's work next week, dancing our way into full body communication methods and how to go beyond just recognizing others' comfort and discomfort, but positively influencing it in order to become a leader who is worth following. We'll see you next week.